Before we go inside, wanted to show you, finished clearing out all the garbage and the trash and the stuff I don't need from inside. It's mostly like old towels that had stains. I can't donate them. A lot of like boxes of Cheerios, as you see, and just a lot of junk that he had laying around the whole house. Emptied everything out, kept the things I wanted. This stuff's going to the dump now. About 7 days I put up the video doing some work outside. And the last thing what I decided to do was I'm going to put some ground lights along the walkway because at nighttime it's dark. And the reason for that, now coming to the inside of the house, is that the entrance light and the outside light that's over the door does not work. I'm guessing it's the switch, some wiring right behind the switch. I'm not going to mess with it now. For now, I'm just going to get lights outside, nail them into the ground. I would get them anyhow. And something I realized when I was cleaning out the house and looking through the garage is if it snows and I want to shovel the walkway, why do I want to walk 5 minutes in the snow to get my shovel, walk back 5 minutes, and then shovel, and then walk back 5 minutes in the snow to put the shovel away? So for the winter, I'm just going to keep the snow shovels in the entry room. In this container, I have the, I forget what that's called again, the stuff I covered. Remember in the tiny house, I covered it, the tarmac, or the cover. I don't remember what it is right now, what it's called. And I covered it on the steps so you don't have to shovel the steps. Well, this is going to be perfect to cover before it snows because it's easy to flip away the snow. I won't have to shovel that. It'll keep ice off of it for the most part. So I'll be covering this in the tarp. That's what it's called. I'll be covering this in the tarp and for the winter time. So I kept that in the entry room also. My brooms are for outside. And this is the weed whacker I bought for $5 at the yard sale. I'm still happy about that. I also put the mosquito swatter there. These bowls I will never use, and they're pretty cool. So what I decided was maybe I'll put some bird seed, put it on the picnic table in the winter time, and that'll be something nice for the birds to come around. And then I can see them and say, look, birds. On this side, I just have the umbrella. I'm going to keep this ladder because this is the ladder I bought when I was in the summer cabin. It's nice and clean, and that's going to be for indoor if I need to get high inside. I won't use that for outside. There's a ladder in the garage I can use for outside that was here, and for my boots. And that's pretty much what I'm going to keep the entry room at. Nothing really to do in here. I'm sure over the years, extra things will come on those shelves. So let's start with the bedroom first, because all in all in the whole house, there's very little changes. The bedroom, I pretty much kept everything the way it was because I'm not Hercules and I can't pick up this old furniture. Honestly, I don't really like this furniture. I think it's old. It looks old, but it's in great condition. Sooner or later, when my jar of pennies gets to like $800, I will buy a new bedroom set and a new living room set. For now, though, it's perfectly fine for me. I'm just not a big fan of it. The only thing, I'm going to have this rug moved, but I need help when my friend comes over, to pick up the bed and get this carpet out. That's too heavy for me. The only thing I really changed in the bedroom was I took away this picture. I just put a thermometer to see if the bedroom stays as warm as the living room. Basically, if the Toyo stove heats up the bedroom well. And it's gotten down to 42 degrees so far at nighttime. And the living room and the bedroom are the exact same temperature. So the Toyo stove is definitely going to heat up this bedroom. The other thing I changed is he had some flower covering there on the wall. And I just put a bald eagle cover that I found in one of the closets that was his. You can't see the eagle, but again, it was just something I wanted to change to make it a little bit like my own. That's just extra blankets in that case, and I'll get like a dirty clothes basket when I go to Fairbanks. The closet, you know, there was a vacuum cleaner here. Honestly, I haven't even figured out how to turn it on yet. I got this vacuum cleaner for $5 at the yard sale where I got the weed whacker. Everything was pretty much $5 there. And that vacuum cleaner I used, it worked really well. $5, great deal. And, I put the towels and blankets that I have and little things that the heater, he had a small heater here. That gray miniature fan slash heater some guy in Anchorage gave to me. Actually, I traded my jacket for it because I didn't need the jacket anymore. And this one is the one I had in the summer cabin. Probably the best one. It's just good to have in case the bedroom gets a little cool in the winter. I will get a picture though and put it on the wall here. And I'll get a few pictures little by little, put them on the wall. I took down pretty much all of his pictures and I'll put them in the yard sale. This is the ivory necklace that my friend's sister who lives in Nana made. And I wear that. I have a rule. I only wear it when I'm on, going on a road trip. I wore it in when I was in the lower states going to Virginia and back. When I'm at home, I don't wear it though, because it's my road trip ivory. Then if we move to the living room, there will still be some changes. Obviously, the TV's staying. I was going to take this down, but then I realized I have some pictures of, things that I have done in the past a long time ago, some old friends. I'll fill this up with my pictures, and actually, that's something I'm going to keep. The whale baleen, I am going to move that over the TV set. I don't know why. I just wanted it in a new spot. I decided to keep that. This is very comfortable. Got my pillow out there to watch TV. This map and this hanging wall piece, I'm going to take down and put in the summer yard sale. I'll put my own pictures up. What my plan is my pictures, he had maps. My pictures are going to be of wolves and maybe wolverines, maybe a caribou. Whenever I'm in Fairbanks, and if I see a picture, I'll get it and just replace these pictures with it. And this, I'm going to put my DVDs on. I mentioned that in a previous video. I have about 300 DVDs I'm going to get. This is the only one I saved from Austria. Alone Across Alaska, 1,000 Miles of Wilderness. This is a really neat DVD. If you guys ever have a chance to get it, it's about a guy who just walks across the Brooks Range for 1,000 miles and the wildlife that he sees. These are the beach stones from beach glass from Nana that my friend's sister also collected for me, and they sent me to enough for 2 of these bowls. I thought Chucky is a nice way to greet people when they come inside. But honestly, with these 2 recliners, they're very comfortable. I'm not keeping them. I'm actually going to post them in Facebook this week and give them away. The reason is because I am going to get, younger cats, and these are death traps for cats. They can get underneath, in the back and in the front. There's really no way to keep them out unless I fill the underneath part with something, and then they're not a recliner anymore. I don't really need these chairs. I'm not really a recliner type of person. They are comfortable, and I would probably keep one if I wasn't getting any cats, but I would like a little more space in the living room, especially like, get a cat tree over there and maybe the cat litter over there. It gives me a little more space. I will never use these recliners. This is my chair if I want to watch a game. That's all I need. I took this picture down already and put up my calendar. So my calendar is going to go there. This is my workspace. And if you remember, I moved this table from there to there because I don't want to stare at a wall when I'm working. And what I really like here is I always see the rabbit hopping around in the morning, in the afternoon, and in the evening when I'm working. And that makes me hungry. And then I usually go and make lunch. But this is really neat to sit here, and if you're working and you see the rabbit hop around, I know, the rabbit makes me happy. I like him. Now for the bathroom, I didn't change anything really. But I will say this. There's me. I've got enough soap, I know I said this last time, for a long time. And under here, some Scott towels and stuff like that. Nothing special in the bathroom. I still have to get something for the toothbrush. And the bathroom's pretty much set up. And for the kitchen, remember the little green carpet I had in the tiny house? I was going to put it in the back of the truck. I'm starting to realize I'm never going to use this in the back of the truck, because every time I put something in the back, I'm going to have to take it out so it doesn't get dirty. That was originally for the back of the truck, so when I go up to the lake and grill, or if I go camping, I can lay back there because it's a nice soft carpet. I'm never going to use it in the back of the truck. So I decided, get some color in the kitchen, make the floor a little warmer for the winter, and I just kept it there. Again, that picture will be replaced by, let's go with the wolf picture. That box is going to be for the cats when I get them, so they can play with. I did take out one of the trash cans here. He had two of them. I'm just going to store my iced tea. I kept, for the most part, the knives. I kept this big bowl because it gives me an excuse to buy bananas, which I bought and I haven't eaten now in 4 days because I don't like bananas. But maybe it'll make me eat something, a little more healthy than Triscuits. I didn't keep any of his glasses, and this was completely full with glasses. Only this one. All the other mugs I'm putting in the yard sale and just selling them for 25 cents. These Tweety birds were mine, and the glasses and stuff was mine before. Then in this one, I don't remember what he had, a bunch of junk. I just took it out, put my own stuff in there. Here he had all his spices. I kept the dishes that you see here and those casserole bowls, even though I don't think I'll ever use them. They were barely used, and maybe I will use them one day. I kept his toaster, and here's what I'm going to do with the toaster. I haven't used the toaster since my mom made me toast, probably cinnamon and sugar toast when I was 14. I decided, keep the toaster out. If I use it one time before the summer, I'll keep it. But if I don't use it, I'll put it in the yard sale and just give it away for 50 cents or for free. It doesn't matter. I have a feeling it's going to the yard sale. This is my microwave. It's the only thing he didn't have in this house that, is convenient. So I could use my microwave. I bought Krispy Kreme donuts because the grocery store seldom has them. So I bought them immediately. And I saved those pots and the brownie things because they weren't used that much. And the only other stuff I kept from him were these pots. This was filled up with a billion pots. All those pots and pans are going in the summer yard sale. I kept this. It's enough for me. And the only other thing I kept was the oven mitts, because I'm never going to use them, but I'll just keep them for now. Again, that's probably something I'll put in the summer yard sale. Everything else I pretty much left empty because I just don't have enough to fill this up, and I don't need enough. I don't want to fill all of these up just to have a bunch of junk laying around. And for last, my eBay room, which is a little bit overcrowded, mainly because I took pictures from the garage. He had these big pictures. He had 5 of them. There's another one. And I'll put them in the yard sale. They're nothing valuable. I can probably get $5 for each one, but for anyone who likes these, you know, streams and forest pictures, they can take them. Everything else, let's see, the only things he had that I am going to put up on eBay are these 2 old vintage aprons. One's a Napoli, Italy chicken apron, and this one I actually like, but of course I'm never wearing aprons. This just is an old Alaska apron, and I'll list them on eBay together. Looks like old vintage aprons sell for about $15 each, so I'll list them both for like $28. In the closet, there's another picture I took from the garage. This is stuff that I'm gonna sell in the yard sale in the summer. This is all of my eBay packaging supplies, a couple of boxes. On this side, I have the packaging supplies also. And that's a really nice, kind of like a cape I'm selling. Brand new. It sold for like $350. I got it used, of course, great condition, but that's something that's difficult to sell. I think I have it listed for $100. So it's actually a good deal for people who want to be a female Superman, I guess. That is the garbage can that I took out from the kitchen, and I thought it's great to have it in here so I can throw away, you know, tape. These are just some supplies for eBay. These are the pictures. Remember the Flintstones, the original Flintstones drawings, the Superman thing. These are the maps he has. And you know, what I did with this stuff is I just keep everything pretty much covered. I know there's other eBay channels that have all this stuff all out and on the shelves. For me, it's easiest to keep it this way. It protects them better. I keep them in bags. You know, the vintage dolls and the Mad magazines. Some stuff I have laying out, but I can find it very easily. These I still have to go through. I forget what these are. Those are like 800 Disney stamps I have to put up on eBay. These are my Pez collectibles. I usually don't buy these, but I bought those at an auction house. And if you remember, I bought like a bunch of Hungarian Pez collectibles. I just filled those 2 drawers up with them. And, you know, some jewelry, some vintage jewelry, other things, and the pictures. So, and I left that at top empty because I'm getting some more stuff for eBay in about 3 weeks. And the room would actually look really nice, I realize, if I took everything out and put them on the shelves. But, you know, I didn't make this room to make the video look great, I made this room so that it's convenient for me to work when I sell something on eBay. And my shop has been offline now for over a month when I was coming back and when I'm, getting settled into the house. So I really look forward to getting the eBay stuff up again. I don't have a lot of stuff, but I started buying things that were a little more expensive so that, yes, it does take me longer to sell stuff, but at the same time, I don't have to pack, 5 Pez 50 times to get my money back. And if you're wondering why did I do this and, why do I keep the Pez down there? I realize when I have the cats, they're going to want to come in this room, much more than normal because I'll always have the door closed. So when I come in, I know they're going to run by, my feet. There's nowhere they can go. They can't go under the bed. They can't go over there because there's something blocking them on the other side of the bed. So I will keep it like this until the cats get older and they're not, tiny and quick and can squeeze past me and get under the bed. And then I'm spending 2 hours trying to get the cat out from under the bed so he doesn't ruin anything. And I saved the most boring for last. This is the I don't know what this is called, the washing machine room. And he had this filled up with everything, if you remember. I just kept what I needed, what I would use, and the rest I got rid of. So for the most part, I've gotten the house taken care of now. I'll spend the next week or two making some new pictures for the eBay stuff, getting the shop back up. And when it stops raining, I will go through the 2 sheds and the workshop and the garage